Dear students, this is Binu Marcus here with a lesson on Mahasweta Devi's Rudali. Rudali is a short story, and here is a recap for you to refresh and revise for the forthcoming examinations. Take care and be safe during COVID-19 lockdown. Let us know the author first. Mahasweta Devi was a Bengali fiction writer and a socio-political activist. She worked for the rights and empowerment of the tribal people, namely the Lodha and Shabar of West Bengal, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh region. She had keen interest in Dalit and marginalized women. So she went and lived in the Adivasi villages to know about them. She befriended them and captured their struggles and sacrifices. She claimed that her stories aren't creations, but they're stories of the people of her country. She's a recipient of various literary awards such as Sahitya Akademi, Jnanpith Award, Ramon Magsaysay Award, and also she has won the Padma Shri and Padma Vibhushan. So coming to this novel is set during the time of the British rule. We get about the time references in the course of the novel. There is a mention of the railway line being put, and then there's a reference in the novel which says that it was during the British rule that the government officials pulled the people away to get vaccination when cholera was rampant. Such indications tell us about the time period in which this short story is set. The place where the story takes place is Tahad. The characters, the Tahads, are people who belong to the lowest strata of the society. The central character is Sanichari. Sanichari has a son, his name is Budhua, and Budhua's wife is Parbhatia. Parbhatia is mentioned only in the end of the novel. We know her only as the daughter-in-law of Sanichari. Harova is the grandson of Sanichari. She is born to Budhua and Parbhatia. Bikhni is Sanichari's childhood friend. Dulan is also a very important figure in the story. He is the one who counsels and he empowers Sanichari. Datua and Latua are the sons of Dulan, and there is one character called Natua. These are the people who belong to the Dahads or the Gunjan community. Now on the other side, we have the Rajput clan or Jotedars or moneylenders, the rich people. We have Ram Avatar Singh, he is the Malik Mahajan and whom Sanichari's husband worked. Then we have Lakshman Singh. Lakshman Singh is the son of Ram Avatar. Bhairab Singh, we see him only as a corpse. He is the dead uncle of Lakshman Singh. Gambhir Singh, and there is one Gulbadan who is the daughter of Gambhir Singh. She was born by an ode to Gambhir Singh. Sanichari is the female lead of the novel. She has this name Sanichari because she was born on a Saturday, and her mother-in-law was forever insulting her for having been born on such an inauspicious day. As a young girl, she was not able to answer back her mother-in-law. Sanichari has a very tragic beginning with the death of her mother-in-law. She had to complete the cremation rites before night fell. It was a custom to not hold on to the body, and it was such a rainy night. She did not have a penny with her. Neither her husband nor her brother-in-law was with her because they were in jail at that point of time. So Sanichari had to literally beg from her neighbors whatever was required to perform the last rites and for the cremation. So during this process, Sanichari had no time to cry. The other developments in the novel are Sanichari's brother-in-law and his wife die soon after the mother-in-law dies, and Sanichari is fortunate to acquire a piece of land from the brother-in-law who has died. So that was a sign of hope to Sanichari and her husband, but Ramavatar's constant threat that he will throw the villages out kept Sanichari and her husband in constant fear. So whatever land they acquired from her father-in-law and her brother-in-law, Sanichari and her husband, decided to have a small garden in front of the house. So the couple dreamt of a small yard in the front and also of a small vegetable garden. Now, happy that they have something, Sanichari's husband tells her that they will have to go to a Baisakhi Mela at Tohari to offer prayers to Lord Shiva. So Sanichari and her husband, they go to visit Tohari, where they want to pay their respects to Lord Shiva at the Baisakhi Mela. Cause of death of Sanichari's husband. The milk that was poured generously on the idol of Shiva was collected in large tanks and was infested with flies. The people at the fair paid money to the priests there and drank that milk. The contaminated milk caused sickness, and cholera was rampant in that region. Sanichari's husband becomes a victim of cholera and he dies. Sanichari and her son were forcefully taken away by the government officials to have vaccination. His husband's body was burnt along with the other casualties in Tohari itself. Sanichari had no time to cry. At Tohari, where her husband died, she had to do the Pindadan as per the instruction of the Panda or priest at Tohari. So she had to spend that 1 rupee that she had offering an offering of sand and sattu for Pindadan to be offered by her son Budhua. When she came back to Tahad, Mohanlal, the priest of Tahad, insisted that she should perform the Pindadan as per the practice at Tahad. In order to uphold the local tradition, Sanichari had to take debt from Ramavatar. So she borrowed rupees 20, but she is made to repay rupees 50 and serve as a bonded labor for 5 years. So she signs the bond. She works in the fields of Ramavatar and she feels that life is a struggle and life is a bitter experience. We know that Sanichari had not cried when her husband died. She did not cry when her brother-in-law or mother-in-law died. She had no tears left because she was running hither and thither to settle things. Now she has time to cry as a bonded labor. But when she wants to cry, Dulan advises her not to cry for the past. He also counsels her not to tax herself too much. He tells her to work slowly and without any fuss and understand that by the end of the day she was going to get her food. Ramavatar's uncle is sick. So Ramavatar's uncle is sick and Sanichari's calf tail was placed in the dying man's hand. It was believed that the dying man could easily cross the mythical river from life to afterlife. So because it was Sanichari's calf that was given for this purpose, she thinks this is the favorable time and appeals to Ramavatar to wipe out the debt and write it off as repaid. In a fit of excitement, Ramavatar was going to also inherit 50 bighas of prime land. So he was only too happy to waive off the debt. But the other Mahajans were very unhappy with the Ramavatar's decision of cancelling the debt because they felt that the untouchables and the field hands would begin to behave differently. The Mahajans felt that the burden of debt should never be taken away from these people because that is the best way to keep the poor people under their control. Budhua is Sanichari's son. He is a very helpful, gentle and a quiet son. He slaved at the Malik's house and back home he would clean the house for his mother, fetch water and also set up a small garden. Budhua's wife was like a daini. She was constantly filling her stomach with stuffs from the market. Though she stole the money she got from the market and bought food to eat, Budhua was kind enough not to be harsh with her. Budhua had actually created a vegetable garden with okra, eggplant, radish, chilies and pumpkin, and he sold the proceeds of the garden and got enough money. Budhua's wife, not happy with going to the market, she wanted to go and work in Lakshman's house. But Budhua knew the consequences of working in the rich landlord's house. He feared that she will be sent to Randipati or the house of prostitution. So he was very harsh with her. He told her that it is enough for her if she went to the market to sell the proceeds of their land. Budhua was getting sicker and sicker with tuberculosis. After the birth of their child, Parbati continues going to the market after a short break. But one day, when Budhua was very sick, Budhua's mother Sanichari asks his wife to stay there and take care of him because she was going to buy medicine for her son. Parbhatia takes this as a right opportunity. She runs away from home, leaving the small child back in the house. Now Sanichari is totally helpless with her daughter-in-law running away after her son was dead. So people in the village pitch in and help Sanichari. Prabhu Ganju said that she should go and stay with him. Dattuva's wife breastfed her grandson. Dulan's wife provides food, and Natuva, Dushad, sold her vegetables. So Sanichari understands that the support of the community is crucial for one's survival. Haruva is Sanichari's grandson. When he turns 14, Sanichari decides to take him to Lakshman Singh for work. So he is given a job in the market. He has to carry goods, clean and sweep for a wage of 2 rupees per month. But soon Haruva gets struck by boredom, and one fine day he runs away from home. Natua brings in the message that he went away with the magic show troupe. Sanichari is devastated, but still she goes from marketplace to another in search of her grandson. Sanichari's search for Haruva ends in meeting Bikhni, her childhood playmate. They recognize one another as they get ready for a quarrel for bumping into each other. Bikhni's name is Kali Kambli Bikhni because she always wore a black gagra. We also know that she was married off at Lohardaga and lived in Jujubatu, not far away from where Sanichari lived, that is Tahad. Now Bikhni tells about her family to her friend. Bikhni says that she had 3 daughters and a son, and her fate was similar to that of Sanichari's. She too lost her husband very early in life. She said that she lived by selling dahi, chibra and gur with loan from a Mahajan. The Mahajan claimed her house for the loan, but her son, instead of helping her solve the issue, simply moved out of to his in-laws' place. He took the cows with him, and by selling the 2 goats that she had for 20 rupees, she was on her way to start her life by begging, and at this point of time, she sees Sanichari. Sanichari invites her into her life as she too has no one living with her. Now Sanichari and Bikhni are happy as long as they have that money, 20 rupees with them. But after the money is spent, Sanichari and Bikhni will have to find work. So they go to take Dulan's counsel, and Dulan counsels them that they can now become Rudalis. Bhairab Singh, a local Jyotidas corpse, was found in one of the fields that was under dispute. It was a criminal case, and people suspected that it was his eldest son who had committed the crime. He was jealous of his father's affection for the sons of a second wife. The second wife's sons blamed the eldest son for the murder. So Dulan informs the 2 women that there will be a fancy funeral for Bhairab Singh, and they are in need of Rudalis to cry over the dead corpse. Usually the dead man's words cry, but Bhairab Singh's words were old and they were no good. So he instructs them to go there as Rudalis. He tells them that they will be paid, and on the day of the Kriya, they will get clothes and food. Now, Sanichari expresses her inability. She says that she has never cried, though her life was very bitter to the core. She says, "Cry? Me? Don't you know I can't shed tears? These eyes of mine are scorched." Then Dulan explains that shedding tears for livelihood are not the tears of sorrow. It's equal as cutting wheat and plowing land. In the past, the Ors mourned sincerely because they were treated kindly by the Mahajans. Dulhan makes them understand that nowadays the odes don't make best Rudalis and their mourning is not sincere. He assures the two women that they should now become Rudalis for Bhairab Singh. Rudalis recruited. Dulan bargains with the account keeper Bachan Lal that the Rudalis should get rupees 5 and should be given rice. Bhairab's senior wife recommended that they must be generously fed with curd and chivda. Sanichari felt that she couldn't cry when death visited her. Perhaps she had saved it for this profession. The Rudalis wailed so well that they were asked to come for the Kriya. So when they came for the Kriya, they got good clothes, they feasted on puri, kachori, besan laddus and all that. Dulan instructs them to get information about who is sick and ailing and also to visit the Randi Bazaar to hire Rudalis. Bikhni decides to go and talk to the Randis. So Dulan Singh is the one who initiates them into this profession. Dulan tells Sanichari, his wife, and Bikhni that these Malik Mahajans created the Randis, and when his wife does not agree, he tells them the story. He tells them that 200 years ago, Rajputs, who were the warriors in the army in the kingdom of Chotanagar, uprooted the tribals from their lands. The Kauls actually revolted against the oppression by the king, so the king sent the Rajput warriors to control them. The Rajput warriors were so cruel that they killed the innocent tribals and burnt the villages. Under the king's instruction, the Rajputs were the ones who came to the Dhad region and took as much as land they could. In the past, these Rajputs used swords to threaten and control, but now the Rajputs shoot or fling flames torches into the settlement. Dulhan was a person who had a knowledge of the past. He knew the history of the land. Rudali as a profession. Sanichari and Bikhni become famous after Bhairab's funeral, and what they demand as payment they get. They charge rupees 5, rice, and on Kriya they ask for cloth and food. They were thorough professionals. Gradually, Sanichari was so much sought after by the landlords, money renters, and most high-class people. The rich felt that they had acquired virtue by feeding Rudalis. Gokula client gave them good quality cloth, which the Rudalis sold in the market and made money. So they were excelling in the profession of mourning, that they kind of make a menu for themselves. So it was becoming a business. In the cities, rich prostitutes competed for this kind of job. But in Dhad, Sanichari was not rich, but she was emerging as a successful Rudali with the help of a few words. Now, for wailing, there was one rate. For wailing and rolling, they charged 5 rupees. For wailing, rolling on the ground and beating one's head, rupees 5 and 2 sikas. For wailing, beating one's breast, accompanying the corpse to the cremation ground, rolling around on the ground there, rupees 6. For Kriya, a length of plain cloth. So this way, the Rudalis were becoming professional and they were quoting their price. Nathuni Singh and his mother, a rich funeral planned. Nathuni Singh was a rich man. He had 3 wives and the middle wife was richer than the other 2 wives. She was respected because she came from a rich family, but she received a lot of contempt from the 2 wives because she had only daughter and no sons. Nathuni Singh was waiting for his mother to be dead. This is what happens in the rich community of the Rajput clan. So death was an occasion where they could show off their wealth and property. So Nathuni Singh was waiting for such an opportunity to expose how great a man he was. He had acquired all his wealth from his mother. His mother was the only child of Parakrama Singh. Parakrama Singh was known to be a very cruel man, and there was a story that he once dragged an old man tied to his horse. So, such kind of a cruel man he was. Nathuni Singh's mother was very sick, she was coughing blood. Nathuni Singh had no love for her, he just had kept her in a room close to the compound. He didn't even go to look at her. Neither did he provide any medical facility or did he arrange for treatment. He even did not provide her a warm quilt during the cold season, hoping that she could at least die of cold. Her condition was very pitiable that she was lying in her own excrement. Moti, a dushad, cleaned the place and slept with her during the nights. Nathuni was waiting for his mother to die and was planning to spend rupees 30,000 on the funeral. A richer funeral. Nathuni's middle wife was so rich and she always regretted marrying Nathuni. Her father, Mohar Singh, married her to Nathuni because he will be able to see his daughter when he could. Nathuni's middle wife was so proud and rich that she wanted to spend more money than Nathuni Singh spent on his mother. Nathuni's middle wife was waiting to give her father a grand funeral. She saw how her mother-in-law was given, so she wanted to contrast it with her own father's funeral. Her father was dying, and so she hires Sanichari and says that she will give everything better that she got when her mother-in-law died. She says that she was willing to pay 50 rupees each for Sanichari and Bikhni, and she nearly wanted 20 Randis to come. So the status of Rudalis rose as old Mahajans died. Randis at Tovri booked for the funeral. Bikhni is a person who goes to the Randis and calls them to come for the mourning for the rich man. There she meets Gambhir's daughter and Budhua's wife. At Mohar Singh's death, there was so much pomp and splendor. The wards were glad at the income and thanked Sanichari and Bikhni and addressed them respectfully. And the wards or the Randis said that they were willing to come anytime when they were called. Next is Gambhir Singh's death. Gambhir Singh is one other rich person in the village. He had fallen ill and his nephew had tied a black goat near him and left him to die in isolation. Understanding his situation, Gambhir Singh arranges for his own kriya, allotting 1 lakh for the purpose. He wishes to use all his money, fully aware that his heir, his nephew, does not care much for him. His nephew can live by the proceeds from the land that he was going to leave behind. So Gambhir Singh's funeral had to be grander than Mohar Singh's. Arrangements were made, and in the meantime, Bikhni desires to go to Ranchi. She had met her nephew-in-law in the marketplace. Bikhni leaves for Ranchi, hoping to see her son. She promises to return in 4 days, but she never returns. Sanichari is worried. She begins to understand that Bikhni was such a soulmate to her and how she had worked endlessly from morning to night, keeping her home and helping her in domestic work. One fine day, she gets a news from her nephew-in-law that Bikhni is dead. The news did not bring her grief. She had faced many such griefs in her life. She had seen many deaths. What gripped her mind was fear. She was afraid of living alone and dying alone. But she had to go on. She felt that she could not shed tears without value attached to it. Now she had become a professional Rudali. She had to get money, rice, or new clothes. Without getting these in return, She felt that tears are a usual luxury. Dulan counsels her. He understands Sanichari's situation when she shares her fear of being alone. Dulan encourages her to go on, like she did when her husband and son died. Professional whaling, he says, is like your land. You mustn't give it up. He tells her that she has to survive. She has to go to Tohri and bring the Randis. In the beginning, she was hesitant, but then she decides to go to Tohri. She goes there and brings many Rudalis. She calls her daughter-in-law and Gulbadan to join too. Rupees 500 for each rice cloth at the Kriya. She feels a purpose in her life as she recruits Rudalis. She takes the old and the young oars. She wishes to initiate the young ones to the trade so they'll have some occupation when they get old. She brought along with her 100 oars. The Rudalis and the Randi hit their heads and wailed, which meant double payment. The Gumasta who was watching this exclaimed, "Cunning Sanichari." From a penniless woman, Sanichari becomes an empowered woman. So from the beginning, we see that Sanichari, from a very helpless state, has matured or evolved into a character where she's able to initiate the Randis who are treated as outcasts of societies. She brings them from the margins to the center. She also is able to forgive her daughter-in-law and feels pity for Gulbadan because she's made a war by a rich Malik Mahajan who was her own father. So Dulan is one male character who supports the weak and oppressed or suppressed Sanichari. Thank you for listening.